The road to the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar continues with a hunt for the 5 exclusive slots. Kenya's Harambee Stars will host the Eagles of Mali this Sunday at the Nyayo National Stadium from 4 p.m, all determined to get a win to keep their dreams alive. This match will be brought to you live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner, only available on Signet and free-to-air decoders.
Take a musical trip around Africa right here on KBC Channel 1. Every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. on Afro Vibes.
Because this is the hottest show right now.
We give you a musical cocktail from North Africa, Central Africa, West, South and East of Africa.
We are live and we are loud.
Where party today? I want to show them my attitude today.
Your Sunday will never be the same again with
DJ D and
DJ Leo
on Afro Vibes.
Your musical passport to Africa.
Allow me to enjoy myself. Allow me to enjoy myself. Allow me to enjoy myself.
How did you discover that your son was having some behavior that was not okay?
He started having problems at school. He was in high school, I think Form 1, Form 2. Then he would have discipline cases, and more often than not, he would be sent home. Unfortunately, for some time, I thought it was just a pure case of indiscipline.
Are we as a country, as far as addressing mental illness is concerned?
As a country, the burden on mental health is so bad right now, because a report by WHO states that 1 in every 4 persons is suffering from one of the illnesses, and especially depression.
I don't quite remember anybody coming to me and telling me that you need to seek professional help at the time. We were just at the mercy of the world, I would say.
The country marks the first Utamaduni Day. Remember, the public holiday replaced Moi Day, which was also marked on 10th October every year. Utamaduni Day is a day that Kenyans ought to celebrate their rich cultural diversity. Good afternoon. My name is Jacky, Wambiru. Our sign language interpreter is Lensa Odingo. Well, we have a comprehensive bulletin lined up this afternoon, and the story that kicks us off this afternoon is religious institutions in the country have been urged to take a leading role in shaping society and shunning violent extremism. Speaking in Mombasa during a public lecture on renouncing violence and extremism in Islam at the Masjid Shibu, visiting lecturers from Al-Azhar Al-Sharif in Egypt said religious institutions should work closely with the public to nurture the youth, a key target for radicalization.
The youths, what we want to see from you is prepare yourself to take over from the old generation. And the way people live, that's a continuity of human, what you can say, human beings, the continuity of human race, okay? Now, if people who are fighting all over, killing each other, then a time will come when people won't live in peace, but they'll be in peace, as I've said earlier. And we want to live in peace, not in pieces.
In other news, Garissa Township Member of Parliament Aden Duale says Kenya does not need a referendum to increase resources to the counties. Duale has challenged the proponents of the BBI to marshal their troops in Parliament and introduce a bill proposing the increments.
Former leader of the majority party in the National Assembly says if Raila Odinga and his team are committed to equitable resource allocation, he should table a bill in Parliament and let the August House decide.
Mr. Raila Odinga hauhitaji kubadilisha sheria. Kama unataka kupatia Garissa na county zote 50%, hauhitaji kubadilisha katiba ya Kenya. Unahitaji kuleta mswada bunge, na mimi nikiwa former majority leader tutapitisha one afternoon.
Duale said the BBI was never the solution to Kenya's economic challenges.
BBI has no issue. Na maneno ya constituency, hiyo ni kazi ya IEBC. Article 89, sub-article 4.
He said most of the proposals contained in the BBI were doomed to fail. Yusuf Hilo, Lunchtime News.
More than 4,500 students from JOMVU constituency have benefited from bursary to facilitate their return to school next week. Courtesy of the JOMVU National Government Constituency Development Fund, the bursary worth 29 million shillings comes as a relief to parents who had expressed fears that their children may not report back to school due to lack of fees. Now speaking when he handed the bursaries, Area Member of Parliament Badi Twalib urged the government to ensure no student is locked out of class due to lack of fees.
Serikali ilete chakula kwenye reserve na mashule yote yanajulikana. Kila mwezi kila shule iletoe chakula kwa shule, watoto wetu wale free of charge na wasome wende shuleni bila kulipa hata ndururu.
Meanwhile, the ISIOLO County government has commenced the distribution of food to some 20,000 drought-stricken residents in the area. Governor Mohamed Kuti says the food rations will go a long way in cushioning the affected families from the worsening effects of the biting drought.
Governor Mohamed Kuti says the county has dispatched 8 water buses to supply water to herders across the county to ease the treacherous search for water and pasture.
We have 8 water buses that are distributed across the county looking after water for household use and water for livestock.
The county boss, however, cautioned the officers in charge of the relief food distribution against engaging in any form of malpractice when distributing the food to the targeted households.
Watu waliopewa jukumu ya kupeana hii chakula, na himiza wawe waangalifu sana ili hii manyumba 20,000 wote wapate hii chakula.
ISIOLO is among the hardest hit counties in the ongoing dry spell. Jacqueline Masharia for Lunchtime News.
Herders from Samburu and Pokot communities at Malaso area in Samburu Central Sub-County have been called upon to put aside their tribal differences and coexist peacefully. This is after 5 people were reportedly shot dead, others injured, and an unknown number of livestock stolen in 3 separate incidents at Morijo and Poro areas in Samburu County within 1 week.
Leaders from Baringo and Samburu counties converged a meeting to calm down increasing tension among herders from the 2 communities. The herders have been asked to live in peace as elders from both communities facilitate recovery of livestock stolen during the recent raids.
Nataka kama wafugaji tuanze kuheshimu maisha ya binadamu. Ile Mungu ametuumba na ametupatia uhai, let us just to value life.
Mtoto kuzaliwa na kukua mpaka nakuwa mtu, alafu unakuja kukufa tu ovyo ovyo kwa sababu ya ng'ombe mbili. Ni mambo ya hasara sana. naomba watu wangu wa Pokot na Wasamburu waishi kwa amani.
The government has further promised to support leaders and community elders in initiating programs that will lead to peace across the sub-counties. Jacqueline Masharia for Lunchtime News.
The future looks bright for close to 12,000 residents of Lower River Nzoia in BUNYALA sub-county, Busia County. The Lower Nzoia irrigation project, that is 98% complete, will not only mitigate against perennial floods, but also boost the community's food security. The Lower Nzoia irrigation project in BUNYALA sub-county, Busia County, is funded by the World Bank to the tune of 7 billion shillings. The project manager, Edwin Manyonge, said the project is 98% complete and that they will be done with the remaining works early next year.
We have completed the construction of the intake. We are at 98%, just remaining the installation of the gates, and then the intake structure will be complete. We are currently doing the main canal in block 1 to 4. We've done the headwork canal, 3.2 kilometers of the headworks.
He said the project will also mitigate floods that cause havoc in the area.
The dikes are fresh, so that will mitigate for the near future, because they are not permanent dikes. For the near future, we'll mitigate against the floods.
Area Member of Parliament Raphael Wanjala, however, said these expected benefits for the locals have, however, been beset by delays in completion of the project.
Mashamba yetu kwanza yalikuwa hajafanyiwa adjudication. Tumefanyia adjudication, tukamepeana hata title deeds. Lakini kuna issues ambazo zinahusika na families na inheritance issues. Ndio pia zimecause some delay here and there.
We are behind schedule in terms of number of days, majorly because of the compensation issues, and the main issue that led to compensation delaying was the documentation of the land within the project area.
Residents say the project will boost their financial status.
Watu wetu watafaidika kwa sababu itakuwa maji hayatakuwa yanawaingilia haraka vile ilikuwa inakuja, unless yawe yamekuja mengi sana. That's one. Two, pia wakilima mpunga, tukimaliza kuweka hizo infrastructure irrigation vile wanalima mpunga, tutataka pia tena wafuge samaki huko kwa canals, pia hizo zitakuwa pesa.
Tutakuwa vizuri, tutategemea vitu kama mahindi, mtama, maharagwe, mboga, tomato, vitu kama hizo tu.
Kwa sababu tutakuwa tukilima kwa kila season. Na pia itatuelekeza sisi watu wa hapa,
serikali kama inawezekana iharakishe hiyo mradi ili uweze kutufaidisha kama wakazi wa sehemu hii ya Bunyala.
Some 50 years ago, the current President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, crossed borders to Kenya as he fought alongside Milton Obote against the regime of General Idi Amin Dada. A family in Kamuriai, Teso North constituency, Busia County, offered him accommodation. And 50 years later, upon assuming power, Museveni rewarded those who had helped him by constructing them decent houses. But one family was not so lucky. How did these particular family failed to catch Museveni's eye? Our Western Region reporter, Weekly for Catch, visited 81-year-old George Opa, the only surviving son of Museveni's Kenyan comrade, and filed the following report. Let's take a look.
We arrive at George Opa's home in Kamuriai village, Teso North constituency, Busia County. Gloom and melancholy clearly discernible. Opa has just lost his wife, Catherine Mombi, this particular morning, compounding the sad state of affairs. Opa, still suffering from the effects of a stroke attack. He can barely walk on his own. After a while, we get to interact with him, but his condition renders the interaction a little difficult. His son, Elias Wandera, steps in for the father.
Wakati ambapo nyanya alikuwa akiwa hai, alikuwa analia, akilia kuhusu watoto wake ambao walienda, mandugu za baba.
The family tells us how the late family patriarch Karani Oteba risked his life in 1971 as he offered Yoweri Kaguta Museveni accommodation when he fought alongside Milton Obote to overthrow the then government of Idi Amin Dada.
Ukoo yake kijana anaitwa Raito Mongin aliweza kuja katika familia hii wakati ya vita ya Uganda.
George Opa tells us how he and his two brothers James Oteba and Laban Opio, both now deceased, were recruited to join Museveni's squad.
Hasa wakati wamekaa kwa hii boma kwa babu Lawi Karani Oteba, wakaanza kuwa na uhusiano ya karibu na hiyo familia. Ndiposa babu aliweza kuahidi kupeana vijana wake.
Eventually, when Obote managed to assume power in 1979, Museveni held posts in the transitional government and in 1980 ran for the presidency. When the elections widely believed to have been rigged were won by Milton Obote, Museveni formed the National Resistance Movement, which waged a guerrilla war against Obote's regime. The resistance eventually prevailed, and on January 26, 1986, Museveni declared himself president of Uganda. Now, the family of Oteba introduces us to Abu Akileng, a former representative of the Mela sub-county in Uganda and the area chair of the National Resistance Movement. We are told that upon ascending to the top seat, Museveni began recognizing and rewarding his then comrades on both sides of the Malaba border by building them decent houses. And with that, Abu Akileng guides us across the border into Uganda. We arrive at the home of David Namunyu, said to have been a close confidant of Museveni. David died in 2001 but is survived by Marsa Kakai David, now aged 69. Marsa cannot hide her joy for the 3-bedroom mansion reportedly constructed by the Uganda military.
Nilifurahi kabisa kutoa mimi kwa nyasi. Ninafurahi kabisa. Asanteni sana.
About 5 kilometers away in Katapala village, still within Mela sub-county in Uganda, we meet Ekabat Samuel. He claims to have helped Museveni cross the Malaba River to the Kenyan side. And when he crossed, Museveni would reportedly have lunch at the home of Henry Odeke, whose wife Virginia Atieng says to have served in the British Army.
Every time they come, they would sit somewhere and they will talk. When Mama maybe prepares for them a meal and they give them malua, that is a local brew, and they will drink.
Ekabat too has been rewarded accordingly.
Museveni alikuja paka kwangu, mimi ndio nilificha yeye, alafu sasa mimi naona yeye nasema to upeleka sisi nataka kwenda kuanza vita. Napika asante. Museveni anijengea nyumba ile nashinda watu yote.
Abu tells us that these are just a few of the houses President Museveni gave the families of his former comrades.
And we do appreciate so much. They have at least erected a house for the family that it can help the family to stay in. The widow is here, but we still pray the helping hand of the president still to continue so that this family can be uplifted to certain status.
But across the border on the Kenyan side, the Oteba family says it is yet to be recognized, and efforts to catch the eye of President Museveni have not yielded any fruit.
Kama mmeenda kuinda msituni porini, mkichinja ng'ombe, mkipata mbuzi ama mkipata sungura, si mtaleta kwa meza mgawe pamoja?
From the look of things, one can easily tell that all is not well for Oteba's family. Their tribulations and adversities well written in their sad faces. But this family believes that the pain and suffering they've endured for so long will vanish when their plea gets to the ears of Uganda's President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, whom they reportedly accommodated during his years of pursuit of the country's leadership.
That report by Weekly Focatch brings us to a break here on Lunchtime News. Don't go too far. We'll be back within a few minutes with more news.
The road to the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar continues with a hunt for the 5 exclusive slots. Kenya's Harambee Stars will host the Eagles of Mali this Sunday at the Nyayo National Stadium from 4 p.m, all determined to get a win to keep their dreams alive. This match will be brought to you live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner, only available on Signet and free-to-air decoders.
The National Treasury and Planning is inviting members of the public to participate in the public hearings for the 2022-2023 financial year and medium-term budget proposals from 13th to 15th October 2021 at the KICC Amphitheatre Hall. Various sectors will give their presentations during the hearings that will run from 9 a.m. each day. Be part of the budget-making process by giving your views and recommendations on the budget either physically or virtually via a link that will be provided on the National Treasury website and official social media platforms. Public participation is one of the key principles underpinning budget preparation process, and you are encouraged to participate. For more details, visit our website at www.treasury.go.ke.
I decided let me go and check him out. And I'm wondering what is he doing outside there instead of being in the house. But my mom said, watch, I ended to hour. So I went there. I went to the back of the house and there was a big crowd. And I'm like, hey, watu wanafanya nini? And kapita kwa watu nikaona, hiyo kichwa nakaa familiar. This looks like one of our family members. And that's when I looked at him. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. Actually, I wish I had not gone to see that.
Welcome back. Elders drawn from the 4 warring communities in MARSABIT County are calling on the government to act on information given by the elders in efforts to end conflicts in the region. Speaking during a peace meeting in Nanyuki following an alleged assassination of a peace committee chair, the elders agreed to continue fostering peace efforts in the region, especially as the country prepares for an election period.
The elders from the conflict-stricken communities met in a tense meeting in Nanyuki after the alleged assassination of a peace committee chairman. Former National Assembly Speaker and National Cohesion and Integration Committee Chairman Francis Ole Kaparo said that it is upon elected leaders from both levels of the government to work together in trying to achieve peace.
Na tumekubaliana hawa wenye viti wane, ikitokea chochote, hawa wenye viti wane watakutana na kuita kamati hii na kushughulikia jambo hilo. Wahakikisha kwamba serikali inahakikisha kwamba wahalifu wanashughulikiwa kisheria.
The elders, however, accused the local administration of inaction in the frequent clashes and constant disruption of peace meetings by attacks.
Tunaomba viongozi wetu, hasa wanasiasa, kazi hii hatujui wameachilia nani. Watu kutoka 2018 mpaka wa leo bado wanakufa. Tumebaki na mayatima, wakina mama wamebaki bila mabwana, na wanasiasa wetu, tukianza na gavana hako huko juu mpaka MCS, MPs, senators, women rep, ni kama hujali.
Na tukirudi nyumbani tutafanya mkutano zetu, tutatafuta hii kitu kwa nguvu.
The community representatives have urged the government to implement recommendations they offered in mid-July this year on how to stem the animosity. Yusufar reporting for Lunchtime News.
In other news, 3 fishermen have died while 2 others have been rescued after their boat capsized at Nyagina Beach near MBITA Causeway in Suba North constituency, Homa Bay County. The men were on their routine fishing expedition when the accident occurred. Confirming the incident, MBITA Sub-County Police Commander Stanley Atavachi said 2 fishermen swam to safety in the 1 a.m. incident.
5 fishermen from Kombe Beach were on their way to Koguna Beach for their routine fishing activities when their boat capsized in strong winds. MBITA Sub-County Commander Stanley Atavich said 3 people died in the 1 a.m. accident, while 2 others were rescued by other fishermen. Atavachi said efforts are underway to retrieve the bodies.
Walikuwa wanaenda pahali inaitwa Kuna on fishing expedition, but as they approached MBITA Causeway, they encountered strong winds, which forced their boat to capsize. 2 managed to swim to safety, while 3 others drowned. So the boat was found intact. The police, the Coast Guard, and the local divers are on site. So far, we have retrieved 1 body. The rescue team is on site.
In September, 8 people died in yet another boat tragedy off the coast of Homa Bay town. The incident raising serious queries over the safety of persons in Lake Victoria. For Lunchtime News, I'm Gladys Mungai.
And in the sports world, top Kenyan chess players produced outstanding performances to take command as the Mombasa Open International Chess Tournament kicked off at Mombasa Continental Resort. Over 250 players have registered for the event.
Kenya's top players Joseph Methu, Ben Nguku and Ramesh Vasanth won all their 3 opening rounds of the open section to remain in the title race. Ugandan Haruna also made a good start after winning his 3 rounds to cling onto board one of the open sections. However, it was a bad start for defending champion Mehul Gohil, who was disappointed in his first round after losing to Samuel Wanjala in a tight time control when he arrived late at the event. In the ladies section, all was not well after Kenya's reigning champion Jumba Gloria lost to Kimani Wanjiru in one of the most interesting games of the tournament. After 3 rounds, ladies defending champion Dafin Mwikali, Madelta Glenda and Obondo Cynthia bagged 3 points each to take the lead on day 1.
Yeah, in December we are expected to host Africa Schools. These are continental events where 47 countries will be in attendance. And of course, after that, we'll have national championship. As you are aware, last year we came for a car, and this year also the winner will be driving away with a car.
We are also going to award various entities, that is corporates, universities and schools. And generally, we want to see how best we can move chess to the next level.
This is the biggest open event so far. It's a good warm-up for what's coming up next. Next week I shall be jetting out with the Kenyan team for the World Amateur Championships in Greece. And then, of course, in December we have the big event, which is the Kenya National Championship, which is another title which I'm hoping to defend as well.
The event will end on Monday with the finals and award ceremony.
Leisure Lodge Golf Resorts Ken Ndege carded a round of 38 points to claim the overall win of his home club's leg of the ongoing NCBA Golf Series. He finished the day 3 points better than fellow clubmate Tony Venturini, who carded a round of 35 points to claim the winner's position in the men's category ahead of Sven Kampa, who ended the round with 34 points. Kerry Venturini won the ladies category after carding 34 points ahead of Caroline Mukaya, who carded 32 points on the day. The Leisure Lodge event was the 17th on the 2021 NCBA Golf Series, which attracted the participation of 100 golfers. This now takes to over 2,300 golfers who have taken part in the series since its inception in January this year.
I think the first few holes were quite good, but things became a bit hectic in terms of getting the swings right, missing pars here and there. But all in all, it was a lovely round. These are people I've never met before, so we enjoyed the conversation on the course.
Tyson Fury consolidated his place at the summit of boxing when he knocked out Deontay Wilder in the 11th round to defend the WBC heavyweight title at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Fury dropped Wilder in the third round, then came off the floor twice in the fourth round before roaring back with knockdowns in the 10th and the 11th, where referee Russell Morrow intervened with the determined Wilder still trying to make it to his feet to continue. Fury ultimately overwhelmed Wilder to remain undefeated.
Wilder with the answer. He's hurt. Big right hand from Fury. Wilder's got to get... Down goes Fury again. He's hurt, fellas. Oh! Wow! And out for it because that wasn't something Wilder showed in the first two fights. Wilder's got to get... by Fury and...
Now, in other news, England took another step towards confirming qualification for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar with an easy victory in Andorra. Elsewhere, Cristiano Ronaldo scored his 112th Portugal goal as they beat Qatar, extending his record as the top-scoring player in men's international football.
Gareth Southgate's side dropped their first points in qualifying when they drew Poland in their last game, but there was no threat of anything other than a very comfortable win against the country ranked 156 in the FIFA rankings. England rested big guns such as Captain Harry Kane, but with Phil Foden outstanding, they had far too much for Andorra and quickly established their superiority. Foden played in Jadon Sancho to set up Ben Chilwell for his first England goal after 17 minutes. Then the Manchester City youngster delivered the perfect pass for Arsenal Bukayo Saka to add a second 5 minutes before the break. Abraham, Ward-Prowse and Grealish were also on target for England. Elsewhere, Cristiano Ronaldo scored his 112th Portugal goal as they beat Qatar, extending his record as the top-scoring player in men's international football. The Manchester United forward scored the opener from close range in the friendly and was replaced at halftime. Jose Fonte scored Portugal's second while Andres Silva added the third.
An excellent delivery that was begging to be buried. And Andres Silva with his 19th goal for Portugal obliged.
Well, that brings us to the end of our bulletin this afternoon. For more news, check out our website at kbc.co.ke. My name is Jacky. Wambiru. Our sign language interpreter is Lensa Odingo. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Vera Beauty College. Vera Beauty and Fashion College with branches in Nairobi, Eldoret, Thika and Meru. Did you know that we are a TVET approved institution? We offer courses in fashion design, interior design in soft furnishing, event decoration, flower arrangement, event planning, hairdressing, barbering and dreadlocks, beauty therapy, makeup, nail technology, spa massages, teaching skills, TOT, solo business management, and many more. Register now and visit our website on www.verabeautycollege.com. You can also call on 0725-923-550 Nairobi branch, 0728-087-689 Eldoret branch, 0722-227428 Thika branch, 0725-000-706 Meru branch. Vera Beauty and Fashion College, a TVET approved institution.
So I decided, let me go and check him out. And I'm wondering, what is he doing outside there instead of being in the house? But my mom said, watch, I ended to our So I went there. I went to the back of the house, and there was a big crowd. And I'm like, hey, watu wanafanya nini? And kapita kwa watu, nikona, hiyo kichwa nakaa familiar. This looks like one of our family members. And that's when I looked at him. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. Actually, I wish I had not gone to see that.
How did you discover that your son was having some behavior that was not okay?
He started having problems at school. He was in high school, I think Form 1, Form 2. Then he would have discipline cases, and more often than not, he would be sent home. Unfortunately, for some time, I thought it was just a pure case of indiscipline.
Are we as a country, as far as addressing mental illness is concerned?
As a country, the burden on mental health is so bad right now, because a report by WHO states that 1 in every 4 persons is suffering from one of the illnesses, and especially depression.
I don't quite remember anybody coming to me and telling me that you need to seek professional help at the time. We were just at the mercy of the world, I would say.
I miss my son Joseph more than anything.